farmers market days as well. God, we pray that you would go ahead of us and touch those days, make them successful events, and everything works out like it should. It's peaceful and good fun and all of that stuff. So we thank you now for it. God, even as we are dealing with, as we're approaching summer, it's already, the heat is here. We pray for safety, not only for our employees, but for our city residents. Thank you for keeping us and looking down upon us, shining upon us, growing us in ways that we can't do by ourselves. We need to rely upon your strength and your help. We ask these blessings in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Please follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you, Councilman Harrington, for leading us in the pledge. I want to just say, please take a moment to silence your cell phones during this meeting. The City Council encourages public participation. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. However, this time limit may be reduced if there are numerous speakers on a particular item. To ensure efficient proceedings, all persons addressing the City Council shall state their name and shall speak in a civil and courteous manner. Speakers shall address the agenda topic only to which they are speaking on and shall not be repetitive. Members of the audience, please respect the rights of others and do not create noise or other disturbances so as to disrupt or disturb persons who are addressing the City Council, council members who are speaking, or otherwise impede the orderly conduct of the meeting. And again, we're asking that you would adhere to those instructions. At this time, we have our reading and approval of our minutes from our most recent meeting on May 27th.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we dispense with the reading of the minutes of May 27, 2025, and that they be adopted as recorded if no corrections.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to dispense with the reading of the minutes and to adopt them as they have been recorded, given that there are no corrections. Any comment about this particular motion and second, or this particular motion? Okay, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nielsen?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Harrington?
Yes.
PT?
Yes.
All right, that motion carries, and as you can see, instead of the typical 6 of us, it's 5 of us today. Councilwoman Washington Eli could not be here, dealing with a personal matter, so it's the 5 of us on this particular meeting. We do want to, I don't see her in the audience, and that's fine, but the next thing we want to do is recognize our Employee of the Month, and this is someone in the Planning and Zoning Department. Has been with the city for some time now, so I want to just give Chantrell Rock an opportunity to say some of the things she may want to say by Nicole Oakes, who is our Employee of the Month.
Hi, so Nicole has been with P&Z, Planning and Zoning, for over 14 years. She was very instrumental in helping to bring forth information that I didn't know or was aware of when I started. She's helped me throughout the years in keeping me on track of planning and zoning issues that happened years ago when Ms. Juanita Fowler was here. So she's been pretty much my backbone for a while. I can't say enough about her. She has been reliable. She's been there. She's been a great employee.
All right. Well, again, we certainly appreciate Nicole's dedication, not only to planning and zoning, but to the city at large. So again, very appreciative to her. And if you happen to see her, just let her know how much we appreciate the work she does and all of our employees that we recognize. All right, we now want to move on to, we have a special guest. I asked Mr. Charles Hall to be here on today. He is one of the members of the Henry O. Flipper Foundation. I think they've been before the City Council before, particularly in the person of Mr. Cofield. But just Mr. Charles Hall, we want you to come forward and just briefly explain, tell us about the work, remind us of the work that that you all do. And I see you've got some other individuals with you if you want to. Okay, and whoever's speaking, we'll just say, whenever you approach the microphone, if you're going to speak, just state your first and last name is all we require. We want to hear about what I think is the great work that you all are doing at the Henry O. Flipper Foundation.
Okay. All right, I'm Charles Hall. I am co-chair of the Henry O. Flipper Foundation. As you can see, we got 3 houses that we built so far on Dixie, Grace, and Sanford. We have allocated the funds through Louisiana Housing and also through a loan through Sabine Bank. To build these 3 houses, we're planning on using the funds on selling the houses to pay the loan off. We're trying to move forward to get qualified chodos so we could actually take some of the old homes and remodel them and get them set up for the community. We're trying to do a whole lot in a small window. We've been doing all of this working out our trunks. We had no office, no nothing. Everything's been done from our houses. We have meetings at Mr. Harry's restaurant. We done everything to get this done, and this was a big accomplishment. I was really proud of it. Ms. Dorothy, would you come say something? This is our co-chair, Ms. Dorothy.
Good evening. I'm just going to be short and brief. This project began in 1999. It was initiated by Mr. Cofield and Mr. Toubre. And it has been challenging, to say the least, to get to the point where we are today with those 3 houses. This project was up and down, because there was a situation where we had to get qualified and documentation. I'll have to tell you, Mr. Cofield did a lot of work. He did a lot of work to get this project to where it was. Some of us were not on the board initially, but these are 3 of the members. Barbara DeSources is the secretary, Martin Johnson from Alexandria, who was on previous boards building houses, and he's an international business man too that goes back and forth to Africa. He's been on the board for a while too. We have Mr. Kelvin Sanders, who is the Hoffa Board's attorney, who has been instrumental in helping us continue to move forward. And we're so thankful for the funding from Louisiana Housing and Sabine Bank that allowed us to build. And I'm so happy, and I know that that we've actually been the only local foundation here in the city that has gotten funding to build 3 low-income houses for people that need decent housing. And this has been a situation where we, even through COVID, we were still meeting and having conference calls and trying to just continue to pursue this. We lost our past chairman, Mr. Clint Payne, who asked me to come on board and some other members so that we could continue this project. And I was like, oh no, I don't know if we'll do this. COVID was really a scary time, but we pushed through to where we're at now, in spite of difficulties with getting financing from some of the local entities. And we won't even go into that, but we still became successful, as you can see. So what we're asking for, because we were meeting at Mr. Hines, we were meeting at a temporary location that we had at an office, as office for us on Texas Street, and he was kind enough, he lets us, Mr. Hines let us meet all the time. We're always on the phone, just working on this project to make sure we get some additional funding. We're in the process too of working with some people to get some grants so that we can further this project and build some more housing for people, because we hope that there will be another project whereby maybe the city can work with us to get some of these dilapidated houses, do some renovation, because there is a great need for housing in this city. housing costs is high in this city too, and I don't understand, because we're not one of the richest cities in the state of Louisiana. So anyway, this is basically what I wanted to say, and we want to thank the city for their offer to assist us. Hopefully, we'll be able to, we are going to take this and use part of the funding to finish the obligations that are tied to this project, and we're going to be looking for a brick and mortar location so that we can continue to move on. Anybody want to make a donation to us as far as property, possibly donate a house to us if we have some more funding whereby we can provide some more housing. Because y'all, I have worked, and these gentlemen have worked with people that are living, we don't know if you don't deal with people that actually don't have a place to stay. And they are from house to house with relatives or friends because of one issue or another. Because I'm noticed, because I work with the Homeless Coalition, we put people in hotels temporarily because they're transitioning and trying to find some place to live and a decent job. And so we need the funds from the city and the other entities that we've requested funding from. So we are so thankful. And if you want to know the history of Henry Flipper, go to Facebook. It'll tell you about the history of Henry Flipper, which was a gentleman that was in the Navy, Mr. Cofield's ex-wife. The project, the foundation, was named after him. He was in the Navy for a long period of time, went through a lot situations, and he got, they had got this record straight and recognized him. And he was quite a nice gentleman. We're quite happy that this foundation was named Henry Flipper Foundation. Thank you so much.
But can I
We
just get you to
appreciate
state your first and last name? I know we know you, but for the record.
you just
What's that?
you let me say all of that.
Yeah.
My name is Dorothy McGasky.
Okay, thanks a
And
lot.
I'm retired. I'm a school board member, and I work with Henry Flipper and the
Well,
Homeless
look,
Coalition.
you all, by proof of what we have here, this is, I mean, awesome work. And I like what Mr. Hall has said. We've heard it before, but that CHODO, it stands for, I believe, Community Housing Development Organization. Is that right?
Certification.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So, and I know it's
Certification.
through the Louisiana Housing Corporation. And I love what he said about the opportunity to, you know, I know some of it's tied up in Chantrell's better than this for me, but in the adjudicated process and all of that. But that, we use the word revitalization, but that community renewal, I know in certain areas badly needed to, you know, remodel, make it look better, add a sense of pride into the, you know, into the community. So, I mean, you all are doing fantastic work with this, and it's really good to see it materialize. I think, Steve, we have some interior pictures. Did those pictures get to you? Is there a next slide? Let's see if there's, or does it deal with something else? Okay, no. But there are some interior pictures that
Really
Mr.
nice.
Hall shared with me today. They look pretty good. That he shared, I'm sorry, I could share those. But I mean, they're really bringing them to modern standards. So, you know,
If I may say, we have a pending application for the house located on Grace Avenue, and we have other applications that have been received for the other two locations. They're sent to Mr. Hall and care of Mr. Hall, and then we send them on to Sabine Bank for
got it. Okay,
processing
good.
to
See,
determine
that's just
whether or
some
not
of the
they'll
interior pictures.
be eligible for one of the houses.
okay, well, look, thank you all so much again. I
You are
think it's
so
certainly a worthy cause, and we really appreciate you all doing this work. I know it's a lot of work. I will say, and y'all may know this, it's well used, but we do have the municipal building that we use for meetings such as that in the community. So you won't have to, I know Mr. Himes has been great and fantastic, but just to say, I don't know if you knew that. I think Ms. McGasky, maybe you knew that, but.
I am.
So as an option of a meeting space until you can get somewhere more permanent.
Yeah, and on that note, just to get qualified CHODO, we do have to have a business address on file. We have to have at least 5 members on the boards, which we have, and we have to have 1 paid employee. So that's why we're seeking funding.
Right.
And it's millions of dollars out there for once you get qualified CHODO. So.
Well, look, this community certainly needs it, and I really appreciate y'all for bringing that information and the pictures that show that it's not just some fairy tale. I think Mr. Himes stood up. Okay. Mr. Himes, before you say your words, state your first and last name, please.
Harry Himes, local, born and raised, retired, come back home. First thing I want to say, what drove me to want to be a part of this program, number one, this is our backyard. I was born in the 50s and 60s when a lot of these homes was being built, and they were beautiful. Most of you guys is that age and know that it was really something to see at that time along Lee Street, down Ambulette, Texas Street. But it's a shame when I came back home that I couldn't recognize it. And I'm not being critical because I really appreciate all the work everybody does, but I really could not recognize where I was. And that's how bad deteriorated that side of town had gotten.
Mm-hmm.
And when I had the opportunity, when it was presented and the plan, and I said, I gotta be a part of that. That's my backyard. Most of all you that was born and raised here know what I'm talking about. A lot of the playgrounds that we had is no more, even though we have beautiful facilities, and I really appreciate some of the improvements we made, but we really need to work on getting our communities back up to standards.
Well, look, certainly we appreciate you, Mr. Himes, and the entire board. You all are doing fantastic work. So thank you all for being here on today. I mean, I'm excited about it. This is really good work. Yep. Thank you all. Okay. Next, we have a proclamation, and it's read by Councilman P.T.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 043 of 2025, a proclamation declaring June 14th of 2025 as the birthday of the United States Army in the city of Natchitoches. Whereas on June 14, 1775, the Second Continental Congress established a Continental Army to secure the common defense of the original 13 colonies during the War of Independence. Whereas the United States Army exists to preserve the Republic and defend the liberty and freedom of its citizens and national security interests. Whereas many citizens of Natchitoches served our country as members of the United States Army and gave the ultimate sacrifice in defense of this nation. Whereas it is proper to recognize the United States Army annually on its birthday and thank those who have served as those who are presently serving our nation. I so move to adopt resolution number 043.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. 250 years, I believe, right, Councilman P.T.? That's what it says, 250 years. So obviously, this nation would not be what it is without the service of the men and women in our Army and the rest of our military. I always love to see, especially my guy who does ROTC at Natchitoches Central. He always has some type of jokes against the Marines and the others, but he certainly has a lot of pride in the Army, and words don't suffice, the appreciation that we have for you all for putting on the uniform, putting your lives at risk, to serve the interests of this country, to protect our freedom. So we really appreciate it. Not sure if there's somebody who wants to say something. Do you have a designated speaker today for us? Okay. Please, sir, state your first and last name. I've seen you around at a few events.
My name is Sergeant First Class Gerald Complin. I've been in the Army for nearly a decade. The Army was established in 1775 on June 14th. It really found its beginnings during Valley Forge. If you guys know the history on that, was an epic trial and tribulation. But what I want to say mostly of all is what makes America great and what makes our American Army strong is the community in which it's a part of. Not only are we a strong organization, we have a strong country that supports us. And it's from people like you who recognize our birthday and celebrate our victories alongside us. that makes us strong. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Again, we appreciate you all so much. Council, I don't know if you have anything to say before we did get a motion in a second, but anything to say about this?
Thank you. Thank
Echo
you.
your comments. Thank you for your service.
Thank y'all. We all know we wouldn't be here, we wouldn't be sitting up here, we wouldn't be the United States without the Army. But the Army keeps marching along, right? My grandfather was in the Army in World War II, and I mean, he was one of the first to liberate concentration camps in the Army, so he saw the horrors of war, but was very proud Army man. So thank y'all so much for what y'all do.
And my husband served in the Army. He went into the Army first and then the Navy second, but thank you for your service.
Yeah, definitely, we want to do that. Look, and I don't know what time it is, but on Saturday, there's this one big, beautiful parade that is taking place. And when Councilman Harrington, so it's actually June 14th is Saturday, but there's a parade, I think, happening in D.C. To celebrate our Army. I think about this going back from Alexander Hamilton. My family, we love him. He says, how does a ragtag volunteer army in need of a shower, that's funny, need of a shower, somehow defeat a global superpower? And when you think about that, I mean, we weren't very organized, but we were going against those redcoats and, you know, we were victorious. And so just how the Army has evolved and changed over the years and the missions we're a part of, again, literally people don't know if they're going to come back. So I've got individuals. I think my brother-in-law, and I mentioned this before, but I think he's now on his 6th or 7th tour. He's in the, not in Ukraine, but, you know, I think Poland or somewhere. So he'll be back soon. But I think everybody can say that they've got people who have served in the military. Any other comments about this particular proclamation? All right, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. I'd like for all of us up here to get a picture with whoever is going to be in the picture for y'all so we can, again, show our appreciation for what y'all do for us. So we got some young ones here? High school? So future soldiers, but graduated. How will it?
Sorry, just give me one sheet, please. Everybody look at me, please. And everyone look at me, please. Now, before you leave, make sure I did that right.
Good.
That's good.
Okay.
Look, and they do this every year, whether it's the, so this is the 250th, but there's some cake in the back, so please, before you leave, make sure you get you a piece of cake, okay? And we appreciate you all for doing that every year for us to celebrate this
I
great
do want to say,
occasion.
I don't think any of the other branches bring us cake.
This is true, this is true. this
I've
is true.
noticed that every year.
Every year they bring cake. So I'm definitely going to get a piece when I'm finished up here. But again, thank you all so much for your service. All right. We've got something for introduction, Councilman Harrington, and we've got an image of this property. It's on Councilman Harrington to read.
This is ordinance number 20 of 2025, an ordinance amending ordinance 64, of 2001 by changing zoning classification of property described as follows. This is 119 Sydney Street, and it's to be rezoned from R1 to R2 special exception for operation of a short-term rental. And this is for introduction only.
Introduction, Chantrell, this is, just kind of describe for us, we've got the image, but kind of give us a more full picture of where this is.
So this is right in the downtown, in the heart of the historic district, I guess you can say. One of the stipulations for this property to be rezoned for a short-term rental, they have to provide parking. Before parking can be provided, they have to still go through the historic district for approval. They will be submitting plans to me showing where they're going to place parking, which should be in the front lawn. They have to provide 2 20 by 10 or 10 by 20 parking spaces, and it shall be gravel. But other than that, they have more than enough room to do what they need to do for a short-term rental. And I think it's a great addition.
Okay. All righty. Any comment, council? Just for introduction today. Councilman Harrington, you want to say what you normally say?
Okay, I guess I wasn't planning on it. But this, our short-term rental ordinance specifies that they must conform to the characteristics of surrounding properties in the area that they're in, and that every single application made to us is to be treated on an individual basis. So you could approve one, you could deny another for their specific individual reasons. In saying that, this one it's in the historic district, it's surrounded by bed and breakfast all around it, you know, right next to it, across the street from it, et cetera, et cetera. So I believe it conforms completely. So.
Okay. All righty, again, just for introduction, so we'll have it on our next meeting, which is the 23rd. Okay? All right. We've got some ordinances that are for introduction. Looks like about 3 that we're going to deal with that are outside of planning and zoning. And this first of the 3 is read by Councilman Nielsen.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance number 19 of 2025, an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Natchitoches to award the bid for the South Williams Waterline Project, and that is bid number 0675. Whereas resolution number 34 of 2025 was passed by the Natchitoches City Council on April 28, 2025, authorizing the mayor to advertise for the South Williams Waterline Project, bid number 06752. And whereas this bid was advertised in the Natchitoches Times on May 1, May 8, and May 15, 2025, in accordance with law, and whereas 4 bid proposals were received and opened as follows. David Lawler Construction, LLC, Shreveport, $837,860.60. Bud's Construction of Houghton, LLC, Houghton, Louisiana, $882,942.50. Skyplex Trucking, LLC, Natchitoches, Louisiana, $923,800. And the 4th bid is Riley Contraction Incorporated, Alexandria, $1,095,766.20. Whereas on June 2nd, 2025, the appointed committee of Clarissa Smith, Finance Director, Ed Lee, Director of Purchasing, Tim Tusek, Utility Director, and Dale Nielsen, Councilman, reviewed the bid proposals for the South Williams Waterline Project, bid number 0675. And whereas the above appointed committee members unanimously recommend the city award the bid to the lowest bidder, David Lawler Construction, LLC, in the amount of $837,860.60. And this is for introduction.
All right, David Lawler, I think those who work in city government, they've been doing a lot of work over the years with the city. Mr. Tim Tusek, I think his first words he has an opportunity to tell us on today. Just kind of break down a little bit for us, Tim, about this project in terms of what we thought the costs were going to be and where we actually ended up being.
Thank you, Mayor. The South Williams Avenue project is approximately 9,300 linear feet of water line replacement, 8-inch, 6-inch, 28 water valves, 8 fire hydrants, and 130 water services, and it runs from Kaiser Avenue all the way down to Pegasus Street and every street in between, which would be Royal Street, Caffey Drive, Bienville, Watson, Hancock, Magnolia. We were thinking it was going to be somewhere around $950,000, so we came in under budget on it, which we're hoping we can actually do a little bit more with the extra money that we have left over.
Great. So I know we're going to start the Breeder Town Waterline project. We had a tentative date of the 16th or something like that?
Monday.
What is that?
Monday.
Monday. Okay, so Monday coming. And obviously, we got to get this one through the council, but a couple critical ones getting ready to get started. So, but it was really good news to hear that it was lower than what the designer's estimate was, and so the bids came in lower. So, council, don't know if you got any comments or questions about this?
I think it's great. So be it.
Right.
You know, we just got to keep on plowing away.
Yeah.
Every time we get, I like to say it, it's not sexy work, but it's necessary as we try to continue to fight against that discolored water. And so many other places need it, but it's just about the budget, right? So this will be up for us on the 23rd. So again, if any questions happen to come up, any curiosity, you can reach out to Tim, you can reach out to me as well.
Just
And,
want to say, Mayor, excuse me, you have your boots on the ground, Tim. You're out working.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're doing good.
Wait, did you say Tim knows how to do the dance, boots on the ground? Is that what? I want to see you do that, Tim.
Water dam.
Not tonight, Mayor.
Not tonight, not tonight. Tonight's not tonight. All righty. Okay, well, we're looking forward to that. Next, we've got Councilman, the next thing we have is for introduction also, the second of the third, and is read by Councilman PT.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance number 021 of 2025, an ordinance declaring certain buildings unsafe and recommending that the same be demolished or put into repair to comply with the building code, authorizing notice to be served, fixing hearing date, and appointing curator to represent absentees. Whereas the Director of Planning and Zoning and the City Building Inspector have written reports with the City Council declaring that the certain buildings listed below are in dangerous and unsanitary condition, which makes them unsafe and endangering the public's welfare, and recommending that the said buildings be demolished or put into repair to comply with the building code. The first property is located at 801 Dixie Street. Owner is Randy Turner. The second property is 412 Martin Luther King Drive, and the owner is the Louisiana State Board of Elementary and Secondary Education. Whereas further, the following locations were provided an additional 30 days to make progress and improvements to comply with the building code. This property is located at 817 4th Street. Owner is Cynthia Madaro. And the next property is 852 2nd Street, and the owner is Paul Douglas Solomon. And this is for introduction only, Mayor.
Yeah, thank you, Councilman PT. I'm sorry, yes, ma'am?
That's not correct.
What you mean, what's that? It does say introduction here, though. What do you mean?
The last two.
Because they've already come before us?
Correct.
And we gave them a 30-day,
Yes.
okay.
That's what he said.
So,
They should be up for final voting.
The last two.
okay,
He didn't read about the 30-day has expired. That's what he did.
so the 4th Street, 4th and
They were introduced.
Buard, and then the one on 2nd Street, 852 2nd Street. So 817 4th Street and 852 2nd Street are the ones that will be up for a final vote today. All right?
Can they be on the same ordinance?
Yeah, it's all kind of together. where it's presented, so I don't know, Gary or Alex, both are here. Any guidance on that?
I mean, on the agenda, it's set, these ordinances are set for introduction only. The notice to the public is for introduction.
So it'll be another 2-week period? Will it be? No, this is a 30-day
Should
period.
be 30
Yeah,
days.
30 days.
This will be a 30 days. So, okay.
Introduction.
It does show up as introduction, so. All right, but there are some images that we have. Do we want to start with that first property, which is, I think, the old store?
It's 801 Dixie.
Well, we could just deal as you have them, Steve, that's fine.
Yeah, that's
If y'all want to deal with it as you have, this is the MLK, the old Head Start building, our old trade school going back to the old trade school, but then most recently, or more recently, it's been the Head Start space. So it's pretty much been wide open. I think at one point it was boarded up. I know there've been a few fires there. And just for council, you noticed that Chantrell, we received this morning, I think, Chantrell, this letter. So I really hadn't had a chance to talk to any one of the attorneys. But I don't know if you want to basically say what this is saying. So we got a letter from Bessie this morning, the Board of Elementary and Secondary Education. So you want to just kind of share with the public what it says? Or should we?
They have immunity.
What's that?
You mean your letter that you
Or just,
Just kind of summarize it, I guess.
So basically, this letter is stating that we as a municipality does not have the authority to condemn a building that's owned by the state. It's pretty much what the letter is stating. Stating that if we move forward with condemnation or any proceedings whatsoever, we will be moving without legal authority.
That's what it says.
that's their claim, but you know how this legal thing goes. I'm sure our attorneys will look at it and see if that's valid.
As you're aware, there was an issue about who owned the building. Sound like this letter is saying we completely own the building 100%, which hadn't been, we need to verify, but I believe that's what this letter is saying.
I like that.
So we need to speak to them again,
Right.
get confirmation of ownership and what documents that support that, and then we'll revisit and speak to the council about it.
And I'll say this, I know Ms. Claire Primus, because she has property that's close, and she's been, I think, diligent in just trying to get something done with it, and I appreciate that. I've had a couple meetings with them, dating back to last year, but one as recently as last week. And it's, it's kind of the same thing. They're an agency, they don't have much money, because my whole thing has been, well, at least let's board it up until you all can do something. They're saying they have to, in order to sell it, they've got to go through the state legislature to get what's known as surplus property, to get it declared a surplus property. And, but we've shared pictures. I think Claire shared some pictures. So the main thing is just in a very bad state. I know from a public safety standpoint, again, there have been about 2 fires that I know, maybe more than that. So you've got that issue, public safety. Maybe there have been some other things, some other illegal and illicit unbecoming activity that's taking place that we can tell that's taking place at this location. Again, it's just a wide open building. And so many, bad things can happen. I think we've given them some time, So anyway, I just kind of wanted to share all of that that's happened with the space before. And I know there have been people who want to do something, want to turn it into something. But the issue with us, as I stated before, is the city doesn't own the property. So, there's really not anything we could do in terms of, as you may think, go for grants for it or anything like that, or even board it up, really. Because, again, it would be us spending our taxpayer dollars on a property that we don't own. So we've had some challenges with that, and it just seems like out of sight, out of mind, so forth, so on, for those who are down in Baton Rouge. But anyhow, like Alex said, they'll take a closer look at this, and ownership is being clear, I think, through this letter that we received this morning.
Yeah, and just for the public purposes, the letter from the board was directed to administration and the council on today's date. So no matter how many times we asked them about the ownership, this is the first time they actually took ownership and sent us a letter, and it came today.
It's a big step.
Finally.
First step, finally, get some response.
So we'll see. It's being introduced today. We'll see what this means, and I'm sure one of the attorneys will be reaching out to their legal counsel as well.
Please do, as soon as possible.
Will.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, what is this property here?
That's 852 Second Street.
Okay.
This
Looks-
was one of the properties that we gave an additional 30 days to, before we condemned. It should have been for final voting, but I guess we'll have it for the next city council meeting.
Yeah, well, if it's typically 30 days, is it? Is it typically 30 days, I think? I mean, you tell me, I think it's typically 30 days once we introduce something. Even though I know technically these have been introduced already.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if we have a procedure that can allow us to deal with it, but like Alex, I think Alex said, it's been introduced. It came like it was introduced this time.
Right, my opinion is we just use it as the same track that we use in other properties, we approve it then. Because otherwise, there's not a public hearing today, the public didn't get notice it was a final vote today, so for our purposes, that's just along the other
cover
properties,
us.
follow the same track.
To cover ourselves.
Yes.
Yep.
I agree.
But it looks, I mean, Chantrell, and I know you're ready to, I know Chantrell's, is ready. But, yeah, the back look, I've never seen this one. The back looks, it's in bad shape. It look like, I don't know.
That back end was actually an addition to the building, so it collapsed quicker than the main frame of the house. I have been approached by someone who's interested in buying the property, but as I explained to them that the condemnation process will continue until I actually have a permit in hand.
And I was told, and I don't know, you may need to check it, that it's in the historical district, is that correct? It's a
already
historical
approved by-
building,
It had already been approved by HDC for condemnation.
but it's a historical building, it was.
It is.
Right.
Okay. All right, so again, it's about permits, I mean, because people can say this or say that. And I'm working on this, and I got this plan, but what permits are you pulling? I think we've got another property up here. This is the 4th Street property.
Correct.
Mhm.
817 4th Street.
And I know I see Miss Cindy here, since it's technically being introduced, we don't typically have public comment on that, but, I mean, have you seen has there been any new development on this property?
Not
Because this
on
is
the
one of the
house.
ones that was, just like the 2nd Street, one of the ones that was,
Approved by HDC.
that we gave additional 30 days. But,
Right, and this property was also brought before HDC, and they approved for the condemnation of the property also. Ms. Mandarino has made effort to clean the land, but again, we have no permits for the structure itself.
I mean, it's up to y'all if y'all want to. We don't usually do introduction, but y'all want to. Hey, yeah, we'll hear you. We'll give you, come on, get the clock going for Ms. Steve. All right. Yeah. And please state your first and last name, bro.
Sure. It's Cynthia Mandarino, 817 4th Street. Let's see. So we've done a tremendous amount of work outside. There's a lot more work that has to be done, but I know you have a lot of issues, but if you all will recall, Greg Duggins is our contractor, and he's having an issue changing his license, and that's barring us from being able to even apply for a permit. I spoke with him today. He couldn't come tonight, but he's finally received a letter that he is eligible to sit the exam. So he's moved on to the next phase in being able to. He's already been, he gave me a letter, we were told the wrong date, and we came 2 weeks ago, the day after Memorial Day, and he had given me a letter to read at that time. And he was very frustrated with the situation at that time. He wanted y'all to know that he started this process before he ever went before the council, and it had already been, I think, 2 months then. So 2.5 months now. So he's on the next part. He said that he would be going to see Ms. Chanterelle tomorrow and show you the letter, so you have the actual evidence.
I got a question. Jess, do you have an estimate of how much it would cost to repair the property? Just an estimate?
Well, we have several, I haven't added them all together yet, but I still have to get a couple more estimates on things. But as far as the structural work and the roof, I do have estimates. You know, when you look at the house, no matter what we do, what's most disturbing is the chippy paint and the roof, and I can't do anything about those until we can move forward. I have my roofer, I have my structural person. It's the first thing we're going to do. So, you know, that's why we've been focused on the parts that are visible to the neighborhood, and I know it's hard to see, but we have a beautiful garden and people stop all the time. They really do, and compliment us. Now, probably there are people that are just disgusted by the, you know, hanging tarps and stuff. So are we, you know, we don't like it. You know, we're very excited that we can finally get it the way that we want it, so.
Yeah, but I drove by to look, because whenever we have a list, I try to look at all the properties in person. And I drove by, and y'all do have a very impressive garden.
Thank you.
Y'all did a really good job up there.
I really appreciate that, thank you. And, you know, a new roof and a paint job is going to be amazing. And I did just want to clarify, we have screens a couple of places because we have a number of security concerns, and there's a lot more crime in our neighborhood than used to be. And those are all temporary. Like,
On the bottom left
is
down
it
there.
going to keep moving to the next, other pictures? Okay. It's at the end of that fence. There it is.
Well, and I would just say, Ms. Cindy, as Chantrell has said before, condemnation doesn't guarantee demolition, but we do need to see, you know, permits indicate some progress is happening.
Right.
So we do need to see some real permits.
We can submit the permit, but we were told we couldn't. Like, we have all the information, except for a couple of quotes, that really are unrelated to the, you know, accident, just some things we're going to do because some plumbing and stuff that we want to get done.
Well,
Yeah.
well, thank you for being here tonight, and because it shows up as introduction, it does give you a little bit more time. So hopefully permits will be pulled. All right? Thank you, ma'am. Okay? All righty. And I think there was one more property up here.
No, I think she showed both on the second.
The Dixie one, is it the one at, is that Dixie and Dean?
Right, I didn't see the Dixie property.
That was a burn, that was a fire there years ago, anyway. You didn't get that one, Chantrell?
She should have gotten that one. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it was a Turner store, the one that's the neighborhood one. Okay, I don't think we got it, but again, there was a fire there, but, I don't know, 23, 22 maybe, 23?
23.
Yeah, 23, so anyhow, I don't think there's been any permit pulled either, right? Is that correct?
No, it hasn't.
On that one? Okay, so, hey, we can't see it, but we'll definitely have a picture of it for our next meeting, okay? Or whenever it comes back in 30 days. Okay? All righty. Again, if you got any questions, please reach out to Planning and Zoning. The last one that we have for introduction for ordinances is read by Councilwoman at-large Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. This is for introduction, ordinance number 022 of 2025. An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Natchitoches, Ronnie Williams Jr., to execute a fourth lease amendment to water tower auction and lease agreement with New Singular Wireless, PCS LLC. Said amendment providing for an extended term, providing for consideration and escalating rent. The ordinance further providing for advertising, severability, and further providing for a repealer and effective date of the ordinance. Whereas the City of Natchitoches and the New Singular Wireless, successor by merger to Bell South Mobility, entered into a water tower option lease agreement dated November 6, 2003. Sometimes hereinafter, agreement was amended by a first lease amendment on July 15, 2014. Later amendment by a second lease amendment on December 11, 2019, and further amended by a third amendment to water tower option and lease agreement executed on May 24, 2022 and June 22, 2022, whereby the city leased it to the tenant the portion of the property located at 200 B School Drive, Natchitoches, Louisiana. Whereas the city and the tenant desires to amend the agreement to implement the terms set forth in the attached term letter dated May 21st, 2025, with the terms to provide for an extended term, increase rent, and provide for an annual rent increase. Whereas the term letter provides for initial rent of $4,000 per month with an annual 3% escalation in rent beginning July 15, 2028, provides for an additional 10-year term followed by 2 5-year terms, and further provides additional language regarding the permitted use right of first refusal and sale of property. Whereas the city and the tenant desires in their mutual interest to amend the agreement as set forth in the attached term letter, and the city council has reviewed and approved the attached term of letter and desires to authorize the mayor of the city of Natchitoches, Ronnie Williams Jr., to execute a fourth lease amendment to water tower option and lease agreement that is in accordance with the terms set forth in the term letter. And this is for introduction only.
Thank you, Councilwoman at-Large Smith. Mr. Tim Tusek, I know you work very closely on this. Any additional comment?
No, Mayor, Ed and I work really close together on this. As the ordinance states, it's just it's basically just a extension of the original 2003 agreement. It extends it instead of a 5-year term, it's just extending it out to a 10-year term. And it increases the monthly rent to $4,000 a month and with a 3% annual increase.
Good. He made some comments. Whenever we do this thing, of course, these companies are always trying to look at, they want the long term and they want it the lowest possible rate. But again, I think Tim, Ed, and some others are working well to make sure, we want to at least get the win-wins. We don't want you to just get us. So I think this is like the 3% and additional revenue per month. Again, I think that they got more years from 5 to 10, but we did get a little bit more income. So I think that's fair and that's good. Any comment about this, Council? And again, this is just for introduction, so if you have any questions, Tim, even Ed can take those if you happen to have some. All right, now we get to the portion of our agenda where we've got some resolutions that, for the most part, these first few anyway, are pretty much what we call housekeeping. We have to do them every year to lock it in, and so we always do it that meeting after the start of the fiscal year, which is, of course, the fiscal year is June 1. So these should go pretty quickly, but certainly we want to, if there's any public comment, we'll take that. The first one is read by Councilman Harrington.
Resolution 44 of 2025, a resolution fixing the time, day, date, and place of regular meetings of the City Council of the City of Natchitoches for the next 12 months. The City Council of the City of Natchitoches will meet in regular session at 5:30 p.m. on the second and fourth Mondays of each month for the next 12 months. The place of meetings shall be at the Natchitoches City Council Chambers here at 716 Second Street, and that special meetings may be held in accordance to provisions of Section 2.09 of the Home Rule Charter, and that at the discretion of the mayor and the councilman members, an informal meeting may be called to begin at 5:00 p.m., preceding the regularly scheduled city council meeting to discuss any business deemed prudent and necessary. And this is no changes as we're operating already. I move to adopt Resolution 44 of 2025.
A second.
Motion made and seconded. I'll say, I think Mrs. Stacy was telling me there was a time in which we had it like at 7 o'clock or something. And, you know, you get one of those long meetings, you're leaving out at, 10:30, 11. So so they adjusted it. People typically, a lot of people get off at 5, and it does give them an opportunity, that additional 30 minutes to at least come directly to the meeting after work. So I think that's fair. On the other hand, I've seen public entities where they do it at 9 o'clock in the morning. And so I don't think that's fair for people, because people are working and things like that. So I think we got a good time is what I'm saying. Any comment about this? All right, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. This next one deals with meeting times and places for commissions that we have, and that's Councilwoman at-large Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. This is Resolution 045 of 2025. It was a resolution establishing the meeting times, as the mayor said, for the Planning Commission, Historic District, Airport, and Waterworks District Number 1. Whereas the law requires that notice of the meetings of the governing bodies and agencies must be published in accordance with provisions of Louisiana Revised Statute 42 and 7, be resolved by the City Council that the Planning Commission of the City of Natchitoches shall meet in regular session at 5 p.m. on the first Tuesday of each month at the City Council Chambers, 716 Second Street. Be it further resolved that the Historic District shall meet at 5 p.m. on the first Monday of each month at the City of Natchitoches Council Chambers, 716 Second Street. Be it further resolved that the Airport Advisory Commission will meet at 5 p.m. on the third Monday of each month, except December, at the Natchitoches Regional Airport Terminal located at 450 Wallingburg Drive, Natchitoches, Louisiana. Be it further resolved that the Waterworks District Number 1 shall meet at 5:30 p.m. on the third Monday of each month at the Thomas Building located at 562nd Street, Natchitoches, Louisiana. And I move for adoption of resolution number 045 of 2025.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, again establishing those times for those different commissions, and I'm assuming from Chantrell that everything is fine with the time and place for her two, which is Planning and Zoning and Historic District Commission. Ed didn't say anything either, so I'm guessing that's fine. And Waterworks, we basically have an appointment on, I think, 2 people. I think we have 2 people on the Waterworks District 1, so all these times seem to be fine with the people who are meeting. So any comment about this? All right, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Next, we've got a resolution appointing Ms. Stacy McCurry as the clerk of the council, and it's going to be read by Councilman Nielsen. And I got to say, this is the one I'm most nervous about tonight, so I don't know how it's going to go. But Councilman Nielsen, go ahead.
Only your first time up, right? Resolution number 46 of 2025, a resolution appointing Stacy McQuarrie as clerk of the council for the city of Natchitoches. Be it resolved that the city council does hereby take cognizance of the recommendation of Mayor Ronnie Williams Jr. that Stacy McQuarrie be appointed as clerk of the council for the city of Natchitoches in accordance with section 208 of the Home Rule Charter. And it is further resolved that the City Council hereby confirms this said appointment. And I move to adopt resolution number 46 of 2025.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. I mean, Stacy is a quintessential professional, and she's very organized, which is the opposite of me, so I appreciate people who are organized. All right. So she, again, does a fantastic job.
She keeps us together. She really does. Thank you, Ms. Stacy.
Certainly some important dates you got to make sure you
Yeah.
check off and all of that. And it can be a chore to keep up with. Any additional comment about this particular resolution? All right, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
Got three?
Yes.
All right, awesome. I'm just messing with Mrs. Stacy. Of course, she's across the hall from me. All right, we've got the next one is dealing with our auditor. That's Councilman Nielsen.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 47 of 2025, a resolution appointing the auditor for the city of Natchitoches. Be it resolved that the City Council does hereby take cognizance of the recommendation of Mayor Ronnie Williams, Jr., that the firm Thomas, Cunningham, Broadway, and Totenberg be appointed as city auditor for the city of Natchitoches for the period May 31, 2025 through May 31, 2026, and be it further resolved that the City Council hereby confirms the said appointment, and I move that we adopt Resolution number 47 of 2025.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Our auditors, Thomas Cunningham, Broadway, Totenberg. Of course, we deal with who's assigned to us is Jessica Broadway, and I think Clarissa would say that she has been fantastic to work with. And so again, we like the work that this firm is doing. Any comments about this? All righty. Seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. The next item is dealing with our fiscal agent and is read by Councilman PT.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 048 of 2025, a resolution appointing the fiscal agent for the city of Natchitoches. Be it resolved that the ordinance number 004 of 2025 of the Natchitoches City Council awarded Bank of Montgomery the contract for fiscal agent for the city of Natchitoches. Be it further resolved that the council does hereby take cognizance of the recommendation of Mayor Ronnie Williams, Jr., that the Bank of Montgomery, Natchitoches, Louisiana, be appointed as fiscal agent for the city of Natchitoches for the term June 1 of 2025 through May 31 of 2026. I also move to adopt resolution number 048.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Of course, BOM Bank of Montgomery is so fresh on us. We know they'll do a super duper job. We know they'll do a fantastic job for us. And I know the elephant in the room, a lot of y'all saw the Natchitoches Journal report the other day that the deal did not go through with Sabine. But they were going to be a credit union. The city's money cannot be with a credit union. But some reason that deal fell apart. But we had to certainly make sure that we had somebody taking care of our money. So just one of those unfortunate things for them, but just kind of wanted to say that on the record. We didn't know it wasn't going to go through, obviously. Any comment about Bank of Montgomery being the fiscal agent? Like I said, we know they'll do. I think, Clarissa, the transition has been smooth so far?
It's been very good, very helpful. Looking forward to a great relationship with them.
Yep. So we're at the start of it. All right. No additional comment. Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. The next item, resolution, deals with our official legal journal. It is read by Councilman Harrington.
This is resolution number 49 of 2025, a resolution designating the Natchitoches Times as the official legal journal for the city of Natchitoches for the next 12 months. I move to adopt resolution 49 of 2025.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. I think by law, we have to have a paper to be our legal journal. It cannot be online based. It has to be a paper, and I guess the paper has to have certain credentials, because for a time, it was only the Natchitoches Times. This was the physical paper that we had. So, but any comments or questions about this? And this is just where we put our notices, right? We have to put our notices in the journal. You know, different meetings that we have coming up, we have to put it in our legal journal, which is the Natchitoches Times, actually. But anyhow, no comments or questions. Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
Okie dokie, that motion carries. All right, next, and the last of the housekeeping, but we do have some other resolutions, is read by Councilman Nielsen.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 51 of 2025, resolution appointing members to the City Planning Commission for the City of Natchitoches. Whereas the mayor of the City of Natchitoches has submitted the following names for appointment to the Natchitoches City Planning Commission, Charles Whitehead III, Reverend Bobby Claiborne, Michael D. Lewis, Ricky McAllister, Walter Johnson, Isaac Lewis, Alexa Conde, Anita Dubois, Sadie Sawyer. Whereas further, Section 24-17 of the Natchitoches Code of Ordinances provides that the members of the commission shall serve at the pleasure of the mayor with consent of the Natchitoches City Council. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Natchitoches that they hereby acknowledge the appointment of the above individuals to the City Planning Commission and hereby approve and consent to same. Be it further resolved that the commission shall have such powers and duties as are provided by RS 33101. This resolution was presented thereupon Mayor Ronnie Williams Jr. declared the revolution. Shouldn't even be reading that. I move to adopt resolution number 51 of 2025.
Second.
Motion made and second. Chantrell, any comment here or just,
No.
no? I think it's been a good group.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right, good group. And again, whenever you have people serving on commissions, whether it's this one, HDC, airport, you know, it's a time commitment to it. You know, so we're happy to get people who are, you know, contributing citizens to serve on committees such as these or commissions such as these. Any additional comment about this particular item? All right, seeing none, Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Finish with the housekeeping for now. We will have HDC and the attorneys at the next meeting. All right, and I can explain to you, council, why we did it like that this time. But we've got Councilman PT coming with a piece to advertise bids.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 053 of 2025, a resolution authorizing the mayor to advertise for bids for equipment replacement, a sludge thickener, number 1, City of Natchitoches wastewater treatment plant. Whereas sealed proposals shall be addressed to the City of Natchitoches, Office of the Director of Purchasing, City of Natchitoches Purchasing Department at 1400 Sabine Street, Natchitoches, Louisiana. Whereas the project will commence to be publicly advertised starting on Thursday, June 12 of 2025. Whereas the bids will be publicly open and read aloud at 2 p.m. on Thursday, July 10th of 2025, held at the above-mentioned Office of the Director of Purchasing. Whereas upon receipt of proposals, the committee members consisting of Clarissa Brown Smith, the Director of Finance, Ed Lee, the Director of Purchasing, Tim Tusick, Utility Director, and Betty Smith, Councilwoman at Large, are to review and make a recommendation of the bids received. May I so move to adopt resolution number 053.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, advertise for bids, equipment replacement. I know we did some sludge thickener before, and I see we have our engineer here on this type of stuff, Mr. Norman Nassib. Tim, do you want to say something first, or just give it to Norman?
Go ahead, Norman.
And Norman knows the drill.
Good afternoon, I'm Norman Nassif. Right as we were finishing the other one, the first one broke. So one thing we know, the design life on both pieces of equipment was about the same.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Right as we were finishing our last project, there were 2 of them out there.
Wow.
The first one broke, which is this one. So the design life on both of those pieces of equipment was about the same. They both broke around the same time.
Wow, wow.
So hopefully this should take care of it for many years to come. If you have any questions, feel free to holler at me.
What equipment is it, Norman?
This is basically a clarifier. It basically takes the solids out of the sewer once it goes through an aerator, and it drops them out and it turns it into sludge.
So it's the same project that we recently did, basically?
Same one we did, yes, sir. There were 2 of them out there.
Okay.
And right as we were finishing,
That
one
one,
we
this one broke.
restored, this
Gotcha.
one broke. And
Okay.
it's just weird, almost broke in the same way.
So it's basically a redundant system. You have a west thickener and an east thickener. While we were working on the east thickener, about, a month and a half before we completed the east thickener, the west thickener decided to break in the exact same manner that the east thickener broke. So then we were actually down both thickeners. Our treatment train was down during that time. We were able to keep our numbers in compliance, discharging, but we were cited by DEQ for having our redundancy not there.
Where was this project being done at?
The sewer treatment plant.
At the sewer treatment
yes.
plant is when it happened?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
How old are they?
31 years.
Wow.
They were put in 1994 when the sewer plant was built on Laird Fletcher.
It's hard to believe.
I was just.
Got to do it.
Got to do it.
Yes, sir.
If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Norman. We appreciate you. All right, next, we've got oh, I'm sorry. We need to put that to a vote. We got a motion in a second, right?
Yes.
Okay. Any comment about this? We got to have it. I think there's some consequences if we don't get it going. Okay. Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All righty, that motion carries to advertise for bids on the sludge thickener number 1. All right, next we've got, this one is read by Councilman PT.
Get it up, man. Sorry about that.
Yeah, we had Eli.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but she's not here. Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 054 of 2025, a resolution designating Thursday, June 19th of 2025 as an official holiday for the employees of the city of Natchitoches in the observation of June 10th. Whereas the 117th Congress established June 10th National Independence Day and declared June 19th as a legal public holiday, whereas June 10th is the oldest nationally celebrated commemoration of the ending of slavery in the United States, whereas Major General Gordon Granger landed at Galveston, Texas with news that the war had ended and that the enslaved were now free. Whereas through the Emancipation Proclamation was signed into law and became official on July 1, 1863, slaves in the state of Texas had not heard of the news until 2.5 years later on June 19, 1865. Whereas people celebrate June 10 by eating barbecue, shooting fireworks, gathering at a cookout, shopping at black-owned businesses, sharing history, and sipping on red drinks, a tradition that symbolizes perseverance and honors the blood that was shed of African Americans. Whereas June 10 is a day that should be recognized by all Americans and a day that reminds us of an incredible capacity to heal, hope, and emerge from our darkest moments with purpose and resolve. Whereas the mayor and the Natchitoches City Council wish to declare Thursday, June 19th of 2025 as an official city holiday. Mayor, I so move to adopt resolution number 054.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. We've been doing this about 4 or 5 years now since the national and state kind of movement, if you will, to declare Juneteenth holiday. And we've been trying to make it a big deal. As we know, the backstory, or the story is that those slaves in Galveston, Texas didn't hear about their freedom until 2.5 years later. Emancipation Proclamation signed January 1, 1863. They didn't hear about it until June 19, 1865. So, it's a big deal. They said the red drinks. I guess I celebrate Juneteenth a little bit more throughout the year, right? I love red Kool-Aid, if y'all didn't know that about me. But anyway, so we're going to announce, we've been announcing, and there's several things going on in the city to celebrate this holiday. We'll get to those a little bit later on. Any comments or questions about this particular item? All right, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. 3 more resolutions, and the next one is read by Councilwoman At-Large Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. This is resolution number 055 of 2025, a resolution of the City Council of Natchitoches committing the required match contribution for a Safe Streets and Roads for All grant application. Whereas tragically, many people are injured or killed in traffic-related accidents every year in Natchitoches. Whereas fatalities and serious injuries caused by traffic-related accidents are devastating and a serious public safety issue that has necessitated public action. Whereas in recognition of these facts, the City of Natchitoches has developed and is seeking to implement its Safe Streets and Roads for All action plan to reduce the potential for serious traffic-related injuries and fatalities in our community. Therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of Natchitoches, Louisiana, that the above recitals are true, correct, and adopted. Fine. No, read it. I move for, the City of Natchitoches opposed the submission of the Safe Streets and Roads for All implementation grants seeking funding for the projects outlined in the city's approval. And I move for adoption of resolution number 055 of 2025 because the city will commit to provide the 20% match contribution for the grant equal to an estimated amount of $1,080. Can't be right.
1 million.
1 million?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm sorry, I said 1,000. To the estimated amount of $1,081,766. This is a matching grant.
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded. Very important situation. People injured or killed, as it says, fatalities, even throughout the city of Natchitoches. The good thing about this, y'all, this has 5 stages to it. We've already won 2 stages. We won the planning grant, so they had a thing where you can get money for a plan. And so we did the Safe Streets for All plan. I think this was 23. Volker did that. They did a really, really good job. I've really impressed with them. So they put that together, and then we came back. I think we skipped the way it worked. We skipped number 2, and we applied for number 3, and we got some demonstration money to the tune of about $1 million. But it's demonstration, so it's not permanent implementation of structures. And that year, I think it was a couple other entities, cities that got some permanent funding. So we're basically going for permanent funding on this. We would like to have a pedestrian bridge across, where the South Williams Bridge is. We can't get a new bridge. Well, we applied for a new bridge, but we like to do that. But I will say, council, please don't make me say it on the public meeting, but I think I can get this match paid for when we win the grant. And I don't want to tip off Rustin or Karen Crow or Broussard. All right, y'all not as tough as I thought, okay. No, but there's a group known as Lightercore. They're publicly funded. They would take care of matches, but we have to put it like this first. And then once we win, we then go to them and say, hey, we got this match that we have to pay. They can pay our match for us. So it could be a 100% funded, fully funded grant if we were to win. And of course, Merchant McIntyre's leading this effort. Nick Verrett works very great with them on these type of infrastructure. This is kind of his lane, engineering. So again, we won twice already. We got the RAISE grant going, and I can update y'all in private on that one. But yeah, I think it's good. So any comments or questions about it?
Great.
Been such a long time coming. That's a big one.
Right. Oh, with this one here?
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, this is a good one. Remember that Vision Zero? They want to not reduce crashes, but the vision is to reduce those right angle collision type crashes that cause, permanent injury that leaves people in a wheelchair or death. So that's what they're trying to reduce by this federal program. And of course, we had the change of administration from Biden to Trump, but Trump administration, they're going on with these infrastructure programs because I think everybody understands that this is something that transcends party lines. We got to do better with our infrastructure. So I think it's a good program. And then, again, we got an idea how we can pay the match. So I think it's going to be fully funded if we win this time. Questions? All right. Seeing none, Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nielsen?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Harrington?
Yes.
PT?
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Okay, 2 more things, because I see some faces over there to my right. I'm going to deal with them tomorrow, though. No, I'm messing around. Okay, Councilman Nielsen.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 56 of 2025 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Arthur J. Gallagher Risk Management Services, LLC, for the Euclid Casualty Package Insurance renewal effective June 30, 2025 through June 30, 2026. Whereas the Insurance Committee has reviewed the proposals submitted, general liability, employee benefit liability, law enforcement liability, public entity, management liability, public entity, employment-related practices liability, auto liability, auto physical damage, umbrella, and crime insurance for the city of Natchitoches, and recommends the contract in the amount of $573,870.65 be awarded to Arthur J. Gallagher Risk Management Services, LLC, for the period June 30, 2025 through June 30, 2026. And I move to adopt resolution number 56 of 2025.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Ed's not here, it's typically his thing, but Clarissa works hand in hand. Any additional comment about this, Clarissa?
Just to note that it is a slight increase over last year. We were about $518,000 last year. This year we'll be at the $573,000, so about a $55,000 increase there. We had as we all know, we had a large claim that had to be paid this year that affected those numbers. But the meeting was really good as far as some of the umbrella policies that we do hold. The numbers were very steady, so not seeing just a lot of craziness in the insurance world, kind of seeing it kind of calm down. Because over the last few years, if you haven't had to shop for insurance, you may not know, but insurance rates have been a little high. And they were advancing very quickly, but they're beginning to settle down. So.
Yeah, almost unsustainable. I know they're working on the state, they're working on some property insurance and things like that, insurance in other ways. So I've been seeing that kind of play out, but it's just kind of what we deal with. It typically doesn't go in the other direction down often.
Right. But to see this increase, we were kind of surprised that it wasn't actually more.
Oh, we thought it was going to be worse.
We actually did.
So increased, but not as bad as we thought.
Not as bad as we
Okay,
thought. So
it's good to know.
That was good.
Glad you said that.
Yes, sir.
Any comment, council? Any other comment, public comment here today on this one? All right, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Last item deals with CWEF. All right, and it's Councilman Harrington.
This is Resolution 57 of 2025, a resolution authorizing Mayor Ronnie Williams Jr. to execute an agreement with the Louisiana Office of Community Development for the 2023-2024 Community Water Enrichment Fund Grant Application at CWEF for improvements to the Natchitoches water system, whereas the City of Natchitoches desires to provide its citizens safe and clean drinking water, and whereas the City of Natchitoches has been awarded a Community Water Enrichment Grant for $25,926 for water improvements on Douglas Drive. I move to adopt Resolution 57 of 2025.
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded. Tim Tusack, one of the perks of being the utility director is that you get to speak a whole lot. So, Tim, is there anything about this particular resolution?
So the Douglas Drive project, the Community Water Enrichment Fund of $25,000 it's going to be for basically an abandonment of 2,430 feet of 4-inch cast iron and 2-inch galvanized line. The 2-inch galvanized line will be upgraded to 3-inch, and that'll be 1,580 feet of 3-inch PVC. The residents down Douglas will be moved over to a 8-inch C900 line that was installed several years ago by Miss Seal Cook for a Seal Cook subdivision back there that never really took off. So we're going to move everybody over with new PE services to their homes and get rid of all the cast iron and galvanized.
Where is Douglas Drive?
Douglas Drive is down Highway 3191, right across from the old golf course down 3191.
So outside of the city, but city customers?
Yes, it's in District 1.
Gotcha. I got you, okay. Any comments or questions about this item? I know it's not a whole lot of money, but any additional funds that we could use to change our water lines is what we're doing in this particular area. And I think CWEF, I know LGAP was another one of those kind of contentious items during this legislative session. I know insurance is something, but I think, you know, the cities tried to make sure that CWEF and LGAP were still going to be funded. So I'm glad that we're getting funded here. All right, no additional comment? Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, thank you, council. We made it through. We do have a few announcements we'd like to share pretty quickly. We always want to say download, regroup, get that downloaded. I think we got our first name tropical storm. Is that correct? Anybody saw that?
No.
First name tropical. I thought it was Barbara. I saw it in the news yesterday. But Ed did go through a webinar. I think they're predicting a moderately active one, so not the worst that we've ever seen, but I think it can be somewhat active this particular season, which started on June 1. And we have our hurricane preparedness stuff on our website, but we'll put out a press release as well. And we always encourage people to download the Go Natchitoches app. There's a ton of things going on, all sort of things, art related and, you know, different things going on in the city. Farmers Market, I think Shauna would agree with me, has been really a hit this season. It's been going great.
Yes, especially, so we had, week before last, we had the Natchitoches Central Band there, and that was a huge crowd. Everybody was excited about it this week. We didn't have any entertainment there, but we still had the same crowd. All of our vendors, you know, are selling out of products before we close, so it's been a good market so far.
I mean, anything, soap to preserves to, you know, meat pies. You got a meat pie lady there. You got drinks that people are making. So the pecan man is there. I like him a lot. He's a pecan guy. But just really great vendors, all right? So we got one on the 14th. We got one on the 21st. When does it end, Shauna?
July the 26th.
Oh, so we're going basically through July. Okay, pretty cool. All right. So we got those farmers market we're looking forward to. So we mentioned Juneteenth earlier, and several events going on the city on the 21st mostly. But there is an event happening on the 26th. I don't know if we captured it today, but celebrity game. We're bringing back Natchitoches Central Lakeview alumni game. That should be fun. A frat game, first responder game, dance showcases, 3-point contest. And I'm like, Larry Bird told a group, he said, look, which one of y'all coming in second place, you know? Because if I'm a part of it, I already got first place sold up. So I wonder who's coming in second place on that. But anyway, my jokes are really not hitting today. Life of Zydeco, this is cool, by the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, from 1 to 2 p.m. on the 21st. So we basically go from the MLK Rec Center to something happening at the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. I think it's Chubby Carrier, is that how you say it? He's a Grammy winner. So that should be really fun. So I'm going to make it to that event as well. And then I think the next flyer, something else about Juneteenth. So we've got a Freedom Day Parade happening at 3 o'clock. And it basically tells you the lineup is on 3rd Street at the courthouse. And it basically gives you the route there. Parade starts at 3 p.m. Lineup starts at 1:30. You want to get there, especially your drivers, because you have to be breathalyzed, or they have to be breathalyzed. And then it has individuals from Councilwoman at Large, to Maria, Robert Jackson, Ralph, those who help to organize the parade, okay? So we're pushing all of these events. I think there's another flyer as well that we have. It basically to close out that night, On Point Band, a local band, I think we've heard them, so we're bringing them back. And then Go DJ Chris is going to be our DJ, and then we're ending with Chris Arterwan. He was there last year, but I think it's going to be great again this year with kids on, and it's free to enter, but then of course the food and things like that at the pop-up shops, of course, there's going to be an expense with that, and we appreciate all of our sponsors down at the bottom, from BOM to Citibank. I can't see that. Look like Cunningham. I can't really see that one. Looks like our auditors, Toten Beer, those folks, EJES. And there's a couple other groups. I see Onyx down there. Two of them I can't see. Sunstream? Sunstream, okay. Sunstream, and then there's another one I couldn't see, right, the C, the one right by Citibank. Who is that?
That's Cunningham.
What's that? Is that Cunningham? Okay, I thought that was Cunningham. Okay, good. All right, so we appreciate those sponsors. All right, I think this is happening the following day on the 22nd, so really you got a weekend. Juneteenth, that Thursday, which is going to be a city holiday, but then you come back. We're going to work on Friday, but then you come that Saturday, and then that Sunday you got other things going on, games, vendors, live performances, basketball tournament, all right? I'll probably be iced up, so I won't be able to school them on that Sunday, all right, because I put all my stuff on Saturday. But there is a fan drive. This happens every year about this time at the Council on Aging. Fantastic Council on Aging that we have. You know, and again, monetary gifts or fans are accepted to distribute to those who are our elderly community among us. So great drive. So it's going to be the 27th from 10 to 12 noon. So help out in that in some kind of way. No donation is too small. All right, third annual Zydeco food truck. This is going to be June 28th. It's a save the date on that one. So again, that's going to be going on. And I think that same day we have, you've got the Sports Hall of Fame. And again, I think we're so blessed to have this event, among all the other events that we have, but this is a really good one to have. You know, people like Danny Granger, he played for the Indiana Pacers. I remember him. I remember, of course, everybody knows Nick Saban, so I think we appreciate all of them, but Nick Saban is kind of the star of the class, if you will, so he's able to come this year, and so that should be pretty good. Andrew Whitworth played at LSU. I think he also played for the Rams, so he should have a Super Bowl. Then they always do sports writers and announcers and people like that they bring in. So a really, really strong class, and really hearing those stories during the induction ceremony, I mean, it's really fantastic. So it's going to be great. But there are some free events that, you know, the welcome reception on that Thursday, it's free. They do something on Friday, I think starting about 7 to 9 or 10, and they introduce the entire class, and it's on the riverbank. That's free and open to the public. And then the training camp, which is that Saturday morning, is free and open to the public. So really good thing to have here. Red, White, and Balloons, that's happening. So, look, a lot of things happening. I know it's hot June and July, but we got a lot of great things happening. And we didn't pull out everything on the Go Natchitoches app, so, but hot balloons, and this is going to take place. It's free. It's free to no admission, but to get on the balloon, there's a fee tied to that, $25 per load, it says. So that's going to be really cool as well. Fireworks, live music, food vendors, meet the pilots. That's in? All right. Again, there are more events on our Go Natchitoches app going on, so quite a few things happening in the city. All right, council, if there's nothing else, we'll hear a motion to adjourn.
Can't say there's nothing to do in Natchitoches.
That's right. We got stuff to do. We got stuff to do. And we're going to be pushing it out as well. We're going to be pushing it out. That's what I love about our community. We do have things going on, and we put on events, and certainly a lot of this would happen without some of our city departments. All right? This time we hear a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Oh, we got a motion?
Yeah. Dale.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, this meeting is adjourned, folks.